Alright, today we're going to be playing a deck in Historic Best of One that I like to call Rakdos Kill All. Let's start off by talking about the premier card, Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil says whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. That combined with Call of the Death Dweller makes it so you can kill any creature through any board state with sacrifice abilities. Why? Because Call of the Death Dweller says return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So Mayhem Devil has to be dead first. You reanimate it and you put a death touch counter on it. Menace not as relevant, but what we really care about is the death touch counter. So Mayhem Devil with a death touch counter on it is able to ping any creature of any size and kill it for 1 damage. Except for Indestructible, of course. So in our sacrifice deck, we have 1, 2, 3 ways to sacrifice things. And then lands for 4. So that's just for us, not including any opposing Fabled Passages from opponents or any other sacrifice abilities that our opponents might play. So we have Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven, which I'm sure everybody's seen time and time again. Gutter Bones. Gutter Bones is a great card to sacrifice to the Priest of Forgotten Gods, because if you don't have anything else to spend your mana on, you can at least return the Gutter Bones to your hand. Claim the Firstborn, stealing our opponent's creatures, hitting them in the face, or even just sacrificing them instead of having to sacrifice our own cards. Priest of Forgotten Gods is my second favorite card in the deck, maybe even my favorite because of its card advantage ability. Sacrifice 2 other creatures, any number of target players each lose 2 life, sacrifice a creature. You add 2 black mana and draw a card. In a deck that is aggressive, when it also has the ability to draw cards, it just pushes it over the top. Dreadhorde Butcher swings in and gets bigger when it deals damage, but it's also another card that when it dies, and you bring it back with Call of the Death Dweller, when it dies again and you can shoot something and kill it with the Death Touch ability. Midnight Reaper is another way to draw cards in this deck. We're sacrificing a lot of things, we're drawing a lot of cards. Losing 1 damage isn't so bad when you have life gain in your Cauldron Familiar and also in our main deckable Lurrus. Woe Strider is just another way to filter through our deck to fix our draws, sacrifice ability, and he keeps coming back. 3 main deckable Lurrus. Lurrus is a card that before the companion mechanic was nerfed, I was in love with. I played all types of variations, and the sacrifice variants were always my favorite. So we don't have an ability to just play 1 all the time now, but having 3 in the main deck is quite sufficient. 4 Mayhem Devil, of course, and I'm only running 2 Call of the Death Dweller. You could go up to 4. I would definitely have 2 in the sideboard. This is for best of 1, so a sideboard is not built. But we're just going to play 2 for now. So before we dive into some matches, I just want to talk about the suspension of Winota. Now, we just had some recent bannings, Agent of Treachery and Fires of Invention. I can see why those cards were banned. But they gave us adequate time to process and deal with the fact that this was happening. Now, I just spent my wild cards from those bannings on finishing the Winota deck. Now I have cards that can't be used anywhere else. What else do you put Angrath's Marauders in? Fauna Shaman, I see potential for it, but it's currently nothing competitive. So in my opinion, I was not okay with the suspension. Also, playing the deck many times myself, any deck that had heavy removal or interaction was good against it. On the other hand, I do understand that losing to a turn 3 Winota is extremely frustrating and not very fun. But we're here to play decks with interaction, not just goldfish and see who can do whatever the fastest. In my opinion, that's something Wizards should work on to prevent. If you liked this video and would like to support me, please hit like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive into some matches. Okay, here we go. And we're off. Sounds fine. We're looking to draw Witch's Oven, but Lurrus, Cauldron's Familiar, Forgotten Gods, double black. We're ready to rock. I'll keep 7. Strider's an alright pickup, adds more fuel to the priest. Mono blue, looks like. This could be tough. Resolving anything could be quite difficult. Oh, this is perfect. We're okay with this. We're going to resolve our priest. Oven. Great draw. Okay, the only thing here now is we really want a couple lower CMC creatures. If they're going to counter something, if they counter us spell for spell, we can be in trouble. But they're going to have to spend their turns countering our things. Could be holding up Quench. Claim the Firstborn. Claim the Firstborn is actually really good because we can cast Claim and Witch's Oven. We try to claim the Sea Dasher Octopus. He's going to sack the Storm Tamer, so let's play land to play around the Quench. And then we'll claim Storm Tamer. Yes, attack in response. The only unfortunate thing is we can't actually cast anything else, but creature-wise, we still get to resolve an Oven. So I would have loved to get the priest down again, but we have to keep him 1 for 1. Otherwise, the priest isn't as good. So now he's going to be incentivized to counter the priest, which will hopefully keep him off a creature. And drawing a card every turn is really powerful for him, and us not being able to double spell is really bad for us. But 1 more, well, I guess 2 more mana, and we can play 1 more mana. We can play Lurrus and priest. Priest is probably going to get countered here. But we have the cat oven going now, so we'll be able to sustain. The holdup might be another Spectral Sailor. No. I kind of want to hold this for Mayhem Devil. I think I want to lead with the Woe Strider. We want to build up at least one more mana so we can cast 2 Lurrus after the first one gets countered. So let's try to bait out at least one spell with the Woe Strider and add some pressure to the board. Might be looking to resolve a Cutthroat. So now that we have a food, we can actually sack the cat to the Woe Strider as well to try and fix our next couple draws if we need. I'm going to sack the cat in response. So our opponent did that because if he went to bounce any creature, we could sack to the oven in response and the Boral would go to the graveyard. But he's got 5 in the air, so, and he can put 3 more onto the field next turn. We might have to just crack this food for life. Actually, do I want to sack my goat? What do I want to draw? Mayhem Devil? Another oven. If he counters the first oven, I do want a second. It's also 2 life a turn. Oh. Maybe he has another Borrower with the hover here. Thinking of bouncing the food. I'd have to crack the passage to bottom. Okay. So let's lead off with an oven. Okay. Resolve. We get some life gain onto the field. We're going to keep the oven in our hand as secret and play the oven from the graveyard. Awesome. Okay, so we know he has no more counter spells. So let's jam. This is fine. He can't block with the Borrower, so he might as well attack. So we're gonna gain life before damage. But we're not going to use the oven until at the end of this turn. So we know he has the borrower. That's an extra 3. That's 8. So I have to attack with Lurrus this turn. Before we attack, we're going to play the priest to maximize on Lurrus' ability. Okay. Combat. Attack. So we have lethal, he has to block. We actually want to resolve the oven in case another flying creature. That's still lethal. 3, 6, 7, 8. That'd be 9 or 8, 9. And that'd be 10 actually. So we'll play the oven. If you can't counter this, awesome. So you'd have to play 2 flying creatures to guarantee that we die. Just the borrower. That's all he has. Curious Obsession. Suppose if he has another of those, we're dead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. One. Awesome. There it is. On the play. Familiar, Firstborn Oven, and Midnight Reaper. This hand is great. If we draw Priest of Forgotten Gods, this is as good as it can possibly be. Since we don't know what our opponent's playing and they could be playing red, we actually have to play in the oven first. If they kill the cat before the oven's in play, you might not be able to reanimate it and bring it back. Watery Grave. Maybe Esper. Esper Control's been circulating around, and they play Cry of the Carnariums, which are really good against us. So, hits our hand. We want him to... Devil gets by Cry, but Reaper's gonna at least draw us one card. Okay, so we can fade a Cry turn for at least one more turn. But this matchup's, from what I've seen, quite tough. This could still be Esper Hero as well, we're not sure yet. That also doesn't really tell us anything.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. You just let me know if you're up for round 2. I've got cover.
Okay, so we're gonna get to hit him for a bit here. Another land would have been nice. We're gonna hold the Mayhem Devil. We're gonna play both ovens to maximize on damage. And if we can draw, if we can play Mayhem Devil the turn after and have our board stay fine, then that'll probably be close to game. This is worth 2 now, so that's 7. Heartless Act. Okay, so we're gonna actually do cap for 1. Ping for 1. I'm actually just gonna do this again, maximize on our damage. We're playing the Devil out again the next turn. I forgot that you sacrificed the food, so that actually did 2 extra damage than I was thinking. That doesn't even matter. Oh, perfect. That's game. Alright. We go first. We have Cauldron's Familiar for 1. We have a sack ability and a claim. Lurrus to return our Cauldron Familiar, so I like this hand, and I'm going to keep. Lead with the Swamp and hide our second color. Also, there's no point in taking any damage. If we don't draw 2-drop, we can play the Blood Crypt tapped. Mono blue again. Attack first. He has no 1-mana counter. Opt is good. This could be Reclamation or mono blue so far. Maybe some Is It variant. Looks to be mono blue. So we're gonna play Wolf Strider. Bait out a counter, slows him down a turn. If he counters it, we can just attack with both creatures. If he doesn't counter it, we're in really good shape. Double Sailor? No? Interesting. So let's attack with the cat first and see what our opponent does. I'm gonna do this in... That gives us 2 black mana. I'm actually gonna wait. I would like to draw a card. I would like the extra mana on our turn. If we do this now, and we waste the mana, we're down 2 creatures, we have 2 left, and if he counters the Lurrus, then we have double claim though. I'm just gonna end the turn. Black. Blue-black flash, maybe? So we'll go to no blocks. We can cast the priest and claim our own priest next turn. I'm just gonna do it now. He's tapped out now, except for 1, but I'm okay with this. If he plays anything we want to kill, we can still claim and sacrifice it to the Woe Strider. The land there is perfect. We'll play the Priest. Dreadwort Butcher. Now our opponent is on the ropes. No double black is good, so no Ritual Soot. Good game. Oh. Good game. Awesome. Another victory. I go first again. This hand, it's not great. I would have to play the Fable Passage on 1 to get a red. I'd probably just get black, which would at least guarantee us to hit a land and cast everything in our hand. But all we have is turn 2 Priest, but we can't play 2 1-drops the following turn. We get 1 extra draw. By the time it untaps, we'll have 2 draws. It's playable, but it's not great. I'm gonna take a mulligan. Yeah, this hand's a lot better. I'm glad I did that. It's slow, but being on the play, it's fine. I'd love to be able to keep all of these. We have to get rid of 3-drop. I'd really like to show everybody how Call and Mayhem Devil works, but I mean, if we're playing against control, it might not be great. We have to just keep our creatures, and maybe we'll draw our other call. I'm going to lead with the swamp so we can get the oven out. Hunted Witness. guess. This might be another sacrifice deck. Okay, mono white, I guess. Some sort of mono white aggro. I guess we'll maybe convoke. Mayhem Devil's gonna do a lot of work here. So next turn, if he plays a land, so he's guaranteed to get the Smiter out anyway, so we'll hold back our ability to shoot this for 1 until he does something. Okay, burns through a fighter's one, that's fine. We're gonna do this now to make sure he doesn't have another fighter's one. There you go. Can't get past the devil. If this hand had red mana, it would be so good. But unfortunately, we just can't keep this. This hand's fine. Looking to draw another black. Because we have the oven, we're going to get rid of the Woe Strider. Reaper, if we can get to 3, he'll draw us cards with the familiar in the oven. So let's keep this. Mountain Witch's Oven. We're leaning with the oven anyways, so that's fine. Passage is... I'm gonna have to play it now to guarantee that we... Oh no. That was bad. I got ahead of myself and now I can't cast the familiar. We're probably gonna lose this. I just wanted to guarantee being able to hit my 3rd land. See, now he's gonna be able to pump the Steamkin. We're just going to leave it the familiar anyways. And next turn, hopefully, the Steamkin's not outgrown too big that the devil can't kill it. Free growth, so that's not good, but at least it takes away 1 red mana and just gives them a colorless. Okay. So 1 red left. Okay. Opponent could dump their whole hand. We're definitely blocking. smart for them to hold back all their firebrands, so now when we play the devil, he can just... Or play the devil, he can just kill it. If I play this out, he's just gonna kill it, so... We have to say go. Oh, Claim the Firstborn is so good there. Love it. Okay. So we're going to claim the Firstborn Annex first. Play the devil. When he goes to kill the devil, we can sacrifice Annex and bring back the cat to kill the Steamkin. So let's go claim Annex. He's thinking of maybe killing it himself? I mean, that can't be what he wants to do. I guess if he has an Embercleave, that's good for him. Well, he's going for it. He's going to replace them all with 1/1s. Mayhem Devil. I think it might be better just to take out the 1/1s. Well, no, let's kill the Steamkin and next turn we can take out all the 1/1s. Is fine. He can't attack. And we're just going to start wiping his whole board out. We'll get Midnight Reaper on. Oh, I'm okay with that attack. We'll swing with the cat and see what he does. Okay. We're just gonna lower his... Or do I want to take the Burning Tree out? Could also kill Annex. Yeah, let's just reduce the Annex. Reach is also fine. He still can't attack. Okay. Well, we're safe to just block away here, so let's go walk and block. claim the firstborn. He can only block for one. There we go. Easy peasy. Our mana for this is terrible, otherwise this would be an amazing hand. On the draw, our first land would be Fabled Passage, and then we would get a swamp. We could play Priest into double familiar. Anything aggressive, and this is not good at all. If I had an oven, I'd be more incentivized to keep because of the recurring life gain, but we do have Lurrus. It could pull us out. This is risky. I don't like this keep. It's a gamble, but the spells that we have are just so good. Probably Esper again. Maybe Bant. Probably gonna hit our hand. Okay, could be Blue Eye Control. This is actually really good for us. I'm glad I kept. We're going to lead with the Priest, and then the following turn we can play 2/1s. And have a sack ability. The turn after, if he's going to play Teferi and bounce our Priest, we can play Priest and a Gutter Bones. And our set's actually annoying because we can't draw cards on our turn from the Priest. Another familiar. I hate walking into a sweeper, but if we find an oven, we can get the familiars back, so we're just going to play everything. If he sweeps, we'll activate the Priest. So he should just activate our set right away and see what he hits. Maybe he has a Shatter in hand and is thinking of just doing it right now.
Thoughtfulness before action.
There's a sweep. We're going to sacrifice both Cauldron Familiars because the Gutter Bones hits harder. Okay, this will get us red, which could give one of our creatures haste. We're going to lose everything this next turn, so we're going to hold back Lurrus to rebuild our board for the turn after. What do I want to do here? I want to play Woe Strider because it can come back from the graveyard, so let's at least cast this. Because he has another Narset, we're just actually going to attack him because he can just replay it. The thing is, do I want to give Claim the Firstborn to the Woe Strider and get in for 3 extra? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't assume he's playing many creatures. Especially ones that we can claim, so I think I'm going to just give the Woe Strider haste. Okay. So that's going to take up his whole turn. We can sacrifice the goat to the Woe Strider to fix our next draw and get rid of any lands we might draw. On this type of board state, really, I think our best card is going to be Witch's Oven. So that's 4. That's going to be 5. You can pitch down for 6. So we activate Woe Strider. Call the Death Dweller. Oh, that brings our board back. I'm actually going to keep that. That's definitely fine. Sacrifice. That'll draw it. Okay. The only thing is it doesn't give it haste. I might want to just play Lurrus and bring back a familiar. I could also play Priest and Familiar. I think I'm going to do that. Really still want to draw an Oven. This match might be hard to attack him to death, so bleeding him to death might be the way it goes, or them, sorry. Tough.
There's no time for a break.
So he's drawing. He's going to get to flip search next turn. If he doesn't play Narset, I'm thinking potential counterspell. There's no point in attacking Narset. If he counters anything, that's just not good for us. That's 3 life. We've got our bones back to our hand. What do I want to do with this turn? He's countering anything to gain the life, so... but he's just going to hold it regardless. So I suppose we just play the Gutter Bones. It's something we can at least get back.
skip to the good part.
We're in a bad spot. This Teferi, if I can at least keep it from hitting ultimate, will destroy us.
I can hold longer. Stand by and watch. Let's try this.
Okay, there's a Mayhem Devil, but we're still short an oven. Let's attack first. Lead with Priest. Fine. So we're just looking to fade a sweeper here. Just gonna get to draw at least one. Could play Narset to dig as well for it. Just gonna let him look for deeper. There it is.
Keep up the pace.
Okay, the land is good because we can at least call the Death Dweller back, so if he counters Lurrus, not that it's overly great. Okay. We're gonna play the Familiar. The Gutterborn's back to him. Called the Death Dweller can bring back both Familiars, and if he actually kills, or is it just two? That's only two. We at least need to be able to hit for one.
I've got it.
Keep an open mind.
This is going to be close. We have to avoid a lot of things. Life gain, pretty much counter spells, and a board wipe. So I don't like our odds, but okay, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hold that thought.
So he plus Teferi, he can do it on his turn, so there's no point in him wiping the board on ours. A Witch's Oven is still our best draw and would basically give us the game. This gets to ultimate next turn. So, I'm actually going to use the Familiar off Lurrus before we attack, which is going to give us one more point of damage. So if he kills everything, we can call it the Death Dweller, and that would be 3. hoping he just wants to wipe the board. Don't counter this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here comes the sweep. Okay. As long as he can't counter this. Here we go. Don't have an absorb. Yeah! Awesome. There you go, 6 wins. Diamond tier 4. Oh, that was intense. That was an awesome match. Okay, let's take a look at the deck one more time. In conclusion, if you want to play best of 1, I highly recommend this deck. As you've seen, I was able to win 6 matches. A couple of those were extremely close and had to be navigated very precisely. There were a few matches, though, that we just completely destroyed our opponent, and this deck definitely has the ability to give you free wins. Some of the powerful things that this deck really does is, honestly, Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. It's a wall. The life gain and the damage, being able to block their creatures, preventing damage. It's just, it buys you so much time to dig through your cards. Priest of the Forgotten Gods, as I talked about at the start, it's an all-star. Drawing cards and dealing damage and removing their creatures. You have so much reanimate capabilities that you're just constantly giving it food. We didn't really get to see Dreadhorde Butcher do too much. I do really like the card, though. It's very aggressive. It does get stonewalled if you're kind of on the draw. Luckily, we were on the play quite a bit, but Gutterbones, just a recursive threat, constantly being able to sink your mana at least into something, so you always have something to do. Claim the Firstborn was really big for us in the mono-red matchup. It really shined there. Midnight Reaper with Cauldron's Familiar just draws card after card after card. We don't gain a life because the Reaper deals 1 to us, but it still deals 1 damage to the opponent every turn. I like it a lot. The Woe Strider was a nice body. The Scry we didn't see come up too much, but it just brought extra pressure and an extra sacrifice ability in case we don't draw our Witch's Oven. It's immediate. We don't have to wait a turn like we do with the Priest. Lurrus, you know what? You could probably still throw Lurrus in as the companion. If I play this deck again, I'm going to do that because it still at least gives us a turn to do something. There weren't too many turns where we had that show to be relevant. Having 3 in the main deck I really liked. Mayhem Devil completely won us a couple games against the fair decks, against decks that aren't playing much removal or that aren't countering many things. Mayhem Devil shines and completely destroys. And Call of the Death Dweller there, the card I wanted to showcase, won us the game at the end. We didn't get to play it with our Mayhem Devil, but it was still quite good there in the control matchup. So there you have it. And remember, if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so on any time I release new videos, you'll be able to see. Thanks a lot.